When we say we are women, we mean that we are brave, we are strong, we are capable, we are unique, we are woman to woman. Here, conversations breathe. Here, honesty feels safe. Here, women speak and everyone listens. Because in this space, every thought is welcomed, every feeling is understood, and every experience carries weight. It's where quiet strength becomes loud, where transparency becomes power, and where the truth is never too much. This is her moment. This is her voice. This is Conversations with her.
Good afternoon, South Africa. Good afternoon, Africa. Good afternoon, Amanda.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to all the viewers.
Today we bring another one who has been with us in previous years, visiting us. And of course, I needed to seize the opportunity to have a conversation with her. We're talking about how many barriers that were self-imposed that somehow impeded you to achieve in 2025 what you should have achieved, and for some reason are hindering you to get to your full potential. You might say, no, it's not my case, but I guess while we go through our talk, conversing with Amanda, you may pick up something that will be very applicable to you. And you know why I said it is the right season? Because we'll be starting the new year.
Through that, yeah.
If we do different choices, sure, we're going to have different results, isn't that?
Yes. When people want something different in their life, they have to take different actions. Because if we keep doing the same thing every day, nothing will change. We will have the same results. That's for sure.
So that you will start with new actions that will bring new mindset. Actually, it's the opposite. Your new mindset will bring new actions. We are going to hear a little bit of Amanda's background. Because, Amanda, can you safely say that for a period in your time, you hindered your success, you hindered your possibilities and your potential?
Yes, I can say that. Because what many people, they don't understand is that the biggest barrier is internally, is inside of us. And I had that problem because when I was growing up in my childhood environment, I grew up, I had my family, I grew up in the church, but I had a lot of conflicts because we shared before, because of the abuse I went through and other things that happened. And I was bottling them inside. And they were creating in me deep roots that made me to lose self-confidence. I was afraid of taking certain actions. And I remember as a child, I was a very cornered child. I was not that outgoing child, normally that plays around and everything. And that made me to hold myself back a lot, to even lose, as a child, losing opportunities even to make friends. Because when I look back to my childhood, I didn't have a lot of friends. Actually, I don't remember having a friend in my childhood. But why? Because all those things that was inside.
From everything that you had been through. And I know you are a middle child.
Yes.
They call it a middle child syndrome.
Yes.
What was specifically, either one or two factors that made you to change inside?
To overcome the barrier?
To really carry on that barrier, holding yourself, being very close up, not having friends.
Okay. I think it was the comments that family would inflict, words of discouragement, comparison as well.
Give me some of those words and comparisons.
For example, I found you in a trash. Your brother is better than you.
Oh, wait. Who told you that?
My mother.
Your mother would tell you, I found you in a trash bin.
In a trash bin, because I was born sick. Today I understand many things, of course, but back then a child doesn't have a perception of many things, so
Wow.
they absorb what they listen, the behavior, how people treat them, and that's what was happening to me. So because she was, at that time, it was only me and my brother. He was the older, and it's like I felt the rejected child, I would put in this way, because I was more neglected, if I can say that, in this sense. Everything would be for him, because he was the firstborn, he was a boy, so it's a man.
She was attached to him.
Yes, she was attached to him, and I even remember once my father and my mother talking that when I was a baby, my mother would leave me alone in the house, in the bed, and would leave me with bottle. And I would be sucking. When he arrived home, I had kind of a lamp on my lip because I was trying to eat the bottle she left, but it was so cold that it got stuck. So she had that. I had that sense since, because they told me that story, and she didn't care much for me.
So it was open because
Yes.
She really neglected you.
Yes.
To do that with a baby.
Yeah, she when she told, she was even laughing, saying what happened. But I was a baby, of course I don't remember. But I remember when they told me.
But when you heard the story,
Yes,
that didn't sit well.
Yeah, it just another thing that I bottled inside. So it was words of discouragement, as I mentioned, finding the trash, because I think she was afraid. And I had that same problem to be attached to me. Because when I was born, the doctor told her I wouldn't pass 7 years old.
Oh.
So I think she was scared to be attached and maybe
Lose the child.
So it's better not to get attached.
What disease did you have? You remember?
Leukemia.
Oh.
Yeah, I was born with leukemia back then, and it was not, the medicine was not so advanced as today. So the doctor said she won't make it. I would be in hospitals taking blood and all that. But that's when she came to the church, found the church, was looking for help, and I was healed. But in that period, since I was born until I believe 5, 6, 7 years old, that what I was getting from her. She was not a mother of love, care, that mother who kissed the child. I don't remember my mother kissing me, and all those things that normally we see.
She would behave in the same way with your brother?
Not really. She would not behave in the same way with him. She was more leaning to him, I would say, in that way. But then my father was more into my side. Yes, trying to compensate. And that's why I got more attached to him than to her. So it was a lot of things that was being kept inside. And I didn't have the understand. I was a child, but that was blocking me to trust people. I had trust issues. I would not trust people. I remember even now, moving a bit forward, when I start knowing my husband and even dating him, we had a bit of challenge because I still had some little roots that I wasn't even aware I had because of all those things. So what we say to a child, we might think it's a joke. Because most of the things that she was kind of a joke, but for the child, a silly joke. But for a child, they don't perceive in that way. They take it and they start everything. It's like, even if something is small, because that feeling was bottled up, it becomes bigger. Then we start having little monsters inside of us.
How did you, of course,
yes,
if she's here today, of course, she overcame. Yes. But when you passed the age of 7, when you were healed, did you see a change in things or not?
After I passed the age of 7, I didn't see much change. But as I was having understanding and listen, and now because of the abuse that happened at the age of around 6, I started developing hatred towards my mother. even though she didn't know that I had that feeling towards her. And I would start, even myself, I can say, avoiding her. I would do what she would tell me to do because she was very strict. Discipline was very important. I learned to do everything in a house. I remember I couldn't leave. I was young and I liked to be in the church. And I could not leave without leaving my things done. I had to make sure everything. Home chores, yes. But I was developing hatred. So all those voices and things started developing to hatred, grudges, and they don't care for me. She doesn't care for me. She doesn't love me. And it was inflicted within me.
Now, how at this age, like 10 years old,
okay, yeah.
How did you see yourself?
I saw myself 10 years old as lost. A lost child who had no one for herself, I would put in that way. 10 years old, I was in that phase of conflict because, as I mentioned, I grew up in the church. So I learned, I heard, I absorbed the Word of God. The teachers in CBC, they would preach, they would say, God love us. But in my sense, I didn't understand which love is this. So I was with a lot of conflicts at that age. And I was trying to find myself. Yeah. But I was trying to find myself running away from the one who could help me. That is God. Because even though I was going to church at such a young age, 10 years, because my hometown is back then, or today I'm not sure how it is, but back then everyone knew everyone. So it was safe for a child of 10 years old to get a bus, go and come back. Uh-huh. And we had, back then, the CBC services, Saturdays, 10 o'clock, and I would go with my brother to those services and come back. But then I start learning, interesting that I start having people coming around me in school and things like that were out. It's not from the church, that has different things.
Up until then, you didn't have friends.
No.
Because you didn't feel that you were worthy of having friends.
Yes.
Do you think that you rejected them, or you would think that they wouldn't want to be friends with you? What was in your mind?
I think that back then in my mind was, I cannot trust anyone.
So you would keep your distance?
Yes.
But now at the age of 10, you decided to get friendship, but with the wrong crowd.
Yes, because in my mind, I want to hurt my mother. So how can I do it? Mixed with the wrong crowd. Because then she was an assistant. So a child of an assistant doing what's wrong. But I was deep.
You wanted to embarrass her.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
And what were your feelings toward your father?
Towards my father, I didn't have any bad feeling towards him. And I was always with him. I like to be with him doing things, and I remember when he would take care of a garden, I would go with him to help. I liked to be with him. But on the other hand, I felt like he would not defend me. Mm-hmm. Though, interesting to say, my mother never beated me. Like we hear, mothers who get slapped you or something. But my father did once, because I became very selfish. Because when we start not trusting anyone, separating ourselves, I was very selfish. And I wanted things in my time. It has to happen. I was a bit, I can say, and I had a teacher in school that told me that I was stubborn. Because my father was with money in hand, I can say maybe a 200 rands note, and I wanted that money to go to school. And he said, no, I cannot give, it's too much for you. And I just took the money from his hand and said, if it's not mine, it's not yours. And I tore the money.
How old were you?
I think I was around 10 years, around that age.
Let us consider this. because of words
Yes.
that were thrown onto you, which you didn't understand, because of the abuse, because of how your mother would relate to you, you became an impossible child. Even the one who would give you some attention, that was your father, you were not taking care of him.
Yeah, but I feared him a lot. So what I did, everything wrong that I was going to do, I hid it because of him. Because I didn't want him to find out, because I had a great fear. If he would appear, immediately I would, because I feared him very much.
Now, I wanted to invite you to participate of a poll. Let us understand your mindset and see if somehow you identify with Amanda's story. Have you ever been classified, let us put like this, by someone? Have you ever received an adjective? You are stubborn, you are ugly, you have been found in the trash bin, you will amount to nothing, you are this, you are that. And when you heard those words, you were at loss because you never saw yourself like that. So here it is, your space to share with us if that was your case, while we continue with Amanda's story.
Have you ever been confronted by someone about a problem they saw in you? Something you never noticed about yourself? At the time, you brushed it off. Maybe you were defensive. Maybe you thought, they don't know me like that. But then later, when you were alone, it hit you. They were right. And somehow you've been blind to that flaw all along. Right now, we're asking you to weigh in. The poll is opened on WhatsApp and Instagram. What's your answer? Was it yes, you hated hearing it, sat with it, and yeah, it was painfully accurate? Maybe you are still not sure if it was the truth or just their own projection. Or no, you have been wrong before, but not blind to yourself like that. Cast your vote. Your answer might say more about you than you think.
We just dropped when you were 10 and you had this argument with your father. What changed then?
From that time, from the 10 years moving a bit forward, as I mentioned, there was a lot of conflict inside. Because I knew what I was doing was wrong. Because I learned that as a child. So I had a lot of conflict and I didn't know how to deal with them. I remember once I lied to my parents saying I was going to the church to help with the cleaning of the church. By then, almost 11 years, and I didn't go. I went to a street where the youth would meet. Because even though I was 10, 11, I looked older than that age. So I went to that street to meet the wrong crowd. But then, because as I said, a town that is small, everybody knows everyone. After maybe 30 minutes, there comes my father. He appears there and asked, but in that day I was with an older cousin of mine. She was older than me. And then she told him, no, she is with me. Don't worry, I'll take care of her. Because he came and said, weren't you supposed to be cleaning the church? What are you doing here? And then I didn't know how to answer him because I had a lot of fear, respect towards him. I didn't want him to feel disappointed with me, but you see, the conflict. In one side, I didn't want to disappoint, but on the other side, I want to do everything wrong. So there was a conflict. And then this cousin of mine said, no, she'll be with me, don't worry. Then that was when, I think I was 11, if I'm not mistaken, I went to a nightclub for the first time. Of course, I didn't do anything. I was just sitting in the corner there because she was 18, I was not, but they allowed me in. And for the first time. And I didn't go to sleep home. I slept in her house because she convinced my father. But whilst I was there, seated in the corner and seeing them dancing, drinking, and it's like, what am I doing here? Because I doesn't belong here. There was that, I can say, voice inside of me. I don't belong here. Then I went, slept in her house. Then I went home. My mother didn't say anything. My father also didn't say anything that you went to do. But then later my mother said, you see, now you're going to be like those ladies. You're going to be pregnant at 12 years and drop school and do this. And she started saying a lot of things. And that made me to feel revolted. And I said, I'll never going to be like that. I won't give her the pleasure, I can say like this, to become this person she thinks I will. And that triggered something different within me.
But of course you said, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be what she's saying that I will be. But would you have plans and dreams? And would you believe you would overcome in life?
At that moment, when she said that, yes, because as it triggered opposite feeling, I can say, it triggered something different within me, then I said, no, I'll be whatever I want to be. I want to be what she thinks I will become. So from there, I started taking everything out, those thoughts, those negative thoughts, those feelings, those comparison as well, because what she was doing was comparing. And I said, I'm not like anybody. I'm not like anyone. So I'm different. And I learned that I can be anything I want to be. And I will work towards that.
So even though it was in a very funny way, in a very, with the wrong intention, it was the right action. But up until then, would you say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get married, I'll be happy,
No.
I will have a career?
To have a career, maybe I wanted to be a teacher, because again, during childhood, I had a teacher that impacted me because she gave me love. She would care for me, and I wanted to be a teacher. I had that desire to be a teacher, but not get married. Not get married. I would be a teacher. I would take care of children, take care of children, and even in that age, I told myself, I am not going to have children because I'll take care of children who are suffering. I had that in my mind, that I want to be a teacher like that teacher I had, so that I could help other children, but not get married. Interesting that.
You didn't believe in marriage?
No.
How was the marriage of your parents?
Their marriage was, I saw a lot of fights because my mother was very rude, sad to say, but she was very rough. She would speak with my father very aggressive, in such a way that sometimes she would throw something at him.
Physical.
Physical, yes. Like she was reading something and then he comes to ask something else from her, or with something in hand, and, oh, where is this? Or, don't you see I'm reading, and throw the book at him. So she was a bit aggressive, I can say. She didn't beat him up. She didn't go to that extent, but she was very aggressive. And later on, I came to understand that she also went through a lot. But as a child, we tend to observe everything. Even though they are married until today, they completed 59 years of marriage.
Oh.
Yes. But it was always with those, I could see fight. They were not a happy couple. I didn't see that happy couple there.
So you didn't believe in marriage to start with?
No.
And you never thought you could be married?
Yes, no.
Did you invest in your career?
I started studying, yes, I started investing. I remember I even did some short courses, and I was studying because I wanted to become a teacher, and I wanted to grow in that field to even be, grow as much as I could in that field dealing with children. But along the way, things changed, plans was changed, but there was that drive within me to do that, yeah.
Now, you were going to church out of obligation.
Yes.
You were going to church just to put up a face.
Yes.
You even mentioned to me that you hated your Sunday school teachers.
Yeah, there was a moment where, yes, there was a situation we had, as I mentioned, a service, and they have, I don't know how to put it in English, but like small children who could be assistants.
Like helping in the class.
Yes, helping in the class,
Volunteer
wearing
helpers.
uniform. It was wearing uniform. And my brother was raised to help in the class, and I was not. And I was very angry with that, because now even
Rejected
them
again.
are rejecting me. So that's why I think that at that moment, that conflict grew. Okay, so they also reject me. At home, I feel, despised and rejected by my mother. So let me see if that's when I try to do what, diverting from what I was learning.
What led you to be serious in the church?
Okay, what led me to be serious?
Because up until then you were just saying you cleaning the church, but running
Yes.
away. Yeah.
I would even go to make sure everyone that was there, because they were assistants, hurt. I
But
felt,
we jumped to something in
Yes.
here. You didn't believe in marriage.
no.
And all of a sudden, how you find yourself getting married to a pastor?
Yes. So I changed it. I started being serious in the church, got converted, got baptized in water,
Became a teacher.
became a CBC teacher.
And that teacher as
yeah,
profession.
teacher, yes. I finished my study as a teacher, though I didn't go further, but I could teach for certain ages. And then as I was learning and understanding that family is the base of many things, and we need to have that base. Family brings love. And I was understanding that I didn't need to be afraid of getting married. Actually, I think I wanted it, but I was afraid of it. So all those fears were going away because my mind was being changed. The thoughts in my mind were being changed, were being transformed. And I would start looking into things differently. And I saw a reason of living. And I want to give my life to serve, to do, to be with this person. I didn't know who, but I remember I even made a vow and wrote my name in one of the stones they were building the altar of the church, and I wrote my name there. And there was other assistants with me, and we put there and said, our life's on the altar. It's interesting, there is one that is a pastor's wife in another country, but without understanding.
So God accepted your prayer.
Yes. And everything within me was changing. And now came the time to meet my husband. I saw him for the first time, but because I wanted someone who'd be serious, who'd be focused in what he was doing. And we start getting to know one another.
And you thought at that stage that you had overcome it all.
Yeah.
And you were completely free of those roots of the past.
Yes.
Up until shortly you're going to find out this oops that came with marriage, because we constantly think, no, I'm okay, I'm free, I've overcame everything, only to find out not really. But before, I want you to see how to find hope in dark times.
Sometimes the hardest part of a tough season isn't the pain. It's how quiet the good things get. Not because they disappear, but because life gets loud. Bills, expectations, disappointment. And after a while, your mind starts keeping score. And it only remembers what went wrong. So, do something different. Stop for a second. Grab a pen, your phone, anything. And write down something that has been consistent in your life, even when everything else felt unstable. Maybe it's a person who did not give up on you. A routine that keeps you grounded. A moment that proved you were stronger than you thought. Write down a situation that did not break you. A habit that keeps pulling you forward. A reason you're still showing up, even on the days you don't feel like it. Because once you name what's still standing, you realize the struggle isn't the whole story. Gratitude doesn't erase the mess, it gives you a place to stand inside it. And from there, hope isn't just a feeling, it's a direction.
Now, Amanda, you got married. Congratulations, 25 years ago.
Yes, 25 years ago.
How was it?
So, as we said, there was a moment that I realized, because I thought I was fine, everything was good, until the moment I started dating my husband. And when we started dating, the first 2 weeks, we went out. And we were walking side by side. Then he holded my hand. I almost fainted. When he holded my hand...
But were you married already?
No. When we were starting dating.
Ah, okay. So
Yeah.
you already saw something was wrong?
When I was starting dating, yeah.
He held your hand and then...
And then I asked him, are you allowed to hold my hands? But I was afraid. And then he said, yes. I said, okay. Then there I already saw, why did I feel funny? You know,
There was nothing wrong.
That's nothing wrong. Then the first kiss as well, it took a bit of time as dating for him to give me the first kiss. And he asked if he could. And it was just that quick kiss because he saw there was a bit of resistance from my part. And I started looking inside. There is something wrong. So I had to speak to him because he even mentioned there was a time he thought I didn't like him because I was afraid. See, fear. There was a root inside that I was not aware that only manifested its root when I started dating. Because while I was not dating, I was helping, I was doing many things, and everything is good. I'm in the faith, but when I started dating, I saw little things that it's a sign. There is something else. You need to dig deeper. And that is where I started, but not having much understanding.
Not having the courage also.
Yes.
Because when you know you have to confront something that is inside of you bottled, you don't know how deep you go. You prefer to push aside and say,
Yes.
not going to go there. I'm fine like this. I'm doing well.
Yes. And you see, that's why I like in the book, From Wound to Scar, the chapter of the roots.
It's her favorite.
Yes.
If she needs to do a recommendation, she
Start
will
from
only
there.
speak about this chapter.
Because we have in our mind that sometimes we see people in the faith and this and that and thinking if they have roots, something it's spiritually wrong. But we tend to judge the person. And I came to understanding because if the person is not doesn't think properly and doesn't do a self-examination, she can even think, oh,
I have spiritual problems.
Yes,
I'm not free.
Exactly. But that was not
Or even the
case.
doctors will say they have psychological issues.
Or other things, or depression, or traumas.
Yeah.
And I started digging there those roots, but it started, and the truth is, as in the book it mentioned, we have to be watchful because roots can come anytime. We can go through something, and if we don't watch, a root can come, and then we are going to have a reaction. So I learned in the process to observe myself. My reaction, why? Instead of asking why this person is doing this to me, why am I reacting? Why did I feel bad or uncomfortable when he held my hand and we are boyfriends? Why? Why am I afraid for him to give me a kiss if we are already engaged to get married? Why? So I started question, but then it was a process. And of course, I have to say, he also helped because he understood. He was patient because maybe someone else would say, this girl is crazy.
It's too strange.
It's too strange. It's, I don't want, and she doesn't like me and all that. But he was patient. And that helped me a lot, I have to say.
But when you got married then, I know you had also your ups and downs.
Yes.
Because without realizing, you were very cold and distant.
Yes.
There's a funny episode that she says, and those who know Bishop Luis know that he's very charismatic.
Yes.
He worked in Park Station in Botswana, and that's his nature. He would arrive home and say, Amanda, how was your day?
Yes.
She would look at him, fine.
Fine.
Why?
That's it.
What is there?
Yeah, like
In it.
which detail you want, it's fine.
The opposite, because normally we know women would ask many things, details, and we sometimes pester the husband, how was your day? And they say, fine. No, how? You don't have anything else to do. In that case, it was the opposite.
The opposite, yes.
When was the moment that you saw you had somehow the same behavior of your mother in you?
When he pointed out to me, because he would arrive excited and all that, and I would give straight answers. I was not rude, but then he made me aware. Sometimes you speak in a way that looks like you are angry, but I was not aware of that. Or sometimes, you see, you need to talk. And sometimes you'd say, did I do anything wrong? Because he likes to talk.
Yeah.
I am an exception. I also I start understanding my nature. I'm not a very talkative person and the one that will start everything, but I learned to find the balance. I had to learn balance because it would be only him talking and I listen, and then I wouldn't give answer. It would be, how could we build a marriage, a relationship, and become one if I would not change that behavior I was having? Because it was a behavior and a habit I had.
Now, I have a question.
Yes.
You worked with children.
Yes.
Were you behaving the same with the children?
No. No, not at all. With children,
You were caring,
free,
loving.
talking, asking, allowing them to talk, listen, but talking as well with them. But I think when looking back, there was a root, especially because, you see, he's a male figure. And though I respected very much my father, but there was a bit of resistance, I think. And I had to understand and completely trust in him, because I think also I realized that why am I holding myself back with him? I don't need to hold myself back, because...
Did you have any doubts about his character or his love towards you?
No, I never had any doubts.
But still you had trust
I
issues.
still had reserves. So, and then I had
What would come to your mind? What kind of reserves would you have? Would you think that he would betray you? Would you think that he would mistreat you? What was it?
Yeah, I think I was trying to avoid maybe being disappointed. I wouldn't think specifically of him betraying me, but maybe disappointing me, or, I don't know, a kind of disappointment that could come. So it's better not... How can I not be attached to someone if I'm married? So I had that challenging of being free and trust completely and, allow myself to be myself, to be free with him. So
How long did it take?
I can say the first 5 years, maybe.
5 years.
I think, or a bit less.
That's why you guys do love therapy. You
Or a bit
understand
less.
what you talk about.
Yes, or a bit less, because what helped us a lot, especially when we left our home country, because now it's only me, myself, and him. So it was only the two of us learning new things, experiencing new things. And of course, I trusted, but I started that process allowing to be myself. Yes, I have to talk. Yes, I have to, because even what I wouldn't like, if I didn't like something, I would not tell him. I just keep quiet. I didn't want to tell him, you did this, I don't like. No, but he would tell me, you did this, and I don't like.
So you wouldn't have an opinion.
Yes, I was, I can say, blocking myself in a way. And I saw that it's not going to help, because he was a person, and he is a person who likes to talk. And he will ask, is there anything? What is it? And then I had to, and I see that it was really God who put us together, because he really helped me also with that. Because I had to change. I said, why? I have no reason to be afraid.
How could you be a helper
Exactly.
if you would not have an opinion?
Yeah.
If you were not able even to convey when
Yeah.
it was not okay for
Yes, exactly. Then I started learning.
you. So you see that your behavior somehow was not only hindering you from your potential,
Yes.
but it was somehow hindering him and affecting the work of God.
Yes, exactly.
Because how you would develop your potential, develop your responsibility as a helper if you would keep quiet.
Exactly. I wouldn't be able to. So I started working in that. I started sharing with him. I started pointing things. Though in the beginning, again, when now I'm talking, I didn't know how to talk. And we create a phrase that I use, then he understands. Because I started pointing him sometimes, I don't like this, I don't like that. But the way I was speaking also was not, because now I'm coming from not speaking, now to speak. Now I have to
Under
point.
pressure.
Yes.
Sort of,
Yeah.
you were demanding from yourself.
Yeah, demand, yes. And also start demanding from him, okay, now you ask me to speak, so now 1, 2, 3, 4,
So
5.
you, to a certain extent, a bit bossy or rude.
Yes,
like
bossy.
your
He would say bossy. Yes, he would say bossy. He would say bossy. And I had to learn to find balance and adapt and, find that balance. Okay, now I have to find this balance, and there is this. We need to, you see, you are forgetting this to resolve this. Please, you have to get it sorted. That's how now I started not just to go straight, with like a gun machine shooting at him. I have to learn that balance. But all those things I was only able to see because I got married. Because now I have a mirror in front of me.
Exactly what you didn't want to do.
Yes. And I have someone who is able to also help me, to show me, look. And we have to accept as well. Because he's the one who wants the best for me. And I am the one who wants the best for him. So when one of us, husband and wife, point out something, is not to harm, but to protect us, to help us. And that's what I understood. And I start learning and changing.
In any moment in your marriage, did you have that feeling of rejection that you carried in you from your mother, from your CBC teachers, from your brother, from your friends? Did somehow that feeling of rejection try to come
Yes.
in your marriage?
It tried in the beginning, the first year of marriage, 1 year, almost to 2 years, because we were waiting to travel somewhere. We didn't know where. And on that exactly date, I felt sick because the town where we were was very hot. I was not used, and I was dehydrated, and I couldn't go. And on that day, they were taking the pastors who were there to travel. And then when he arrived home, it's like, because you were not there, I was not chosen to go.
Oh.
But then it tries to, you see, now you are, that thought try to come, you see? You are now blocking his life. You were not meant to block, but to help. Now you are blocking. But immediately I said, no, it was not meant to be. The plan is different.
Now you learned how to rebate
that. I learned how to rebate that thought. And in many other situations in marriage, but even in personal life. There was one funny one that I like even to share with some of my friends. When I was taking my driver's license here in South Africa, actually I started in Botswana, and I failed the first test, and then I came to South Africa, I failed again, and then I did again for the third time, and I failed, and I said, no problem.
Should I get a ride with you?
I said, yes, because I know it. Because then I said, it was the right one. Because English is not
the practical.
Not the
It was
practical.
the written.
The right one.
Okay.
Because English was not my first language. And so I wrote it 3 times. And I said, no problem. I'll do it until I make it. That's it. Because my mindset changed. But sometimes there are people, when they try to do something, maybe for their studies or learning something new, they go, they fail the first time, they give up. Don't give up. Continue until you make it. Because if you persist, you persevere, you're going to make it. I persevered. On the 4th time, it was very funny because when I went to write on the 4th time, the senior officer there called me out of the class. I was already seated on the table and asked me, why do you want to have a driver's license? And then I answered, because I had a visa back then accompanying husband. You don't work here. You just accompany your husband. Why do you need to drive for? Then I answered to him, to buy food for my husband. I need to go and buy food for him. And he was trying to scare me. And then he said, okay, I will allow you to write for the last time. Then I had to go in another time. I lost the first group. I went with the second group. I wrote it with under that pressure the officer put, and I made it. So I always say, don't give up. If you try to do something, you try to learn a new language, you try to further your career, you try to do something, learn something new. But it's not meant for me. No, persevere. If you want it, you're going to make it. Mm-hmm. Because we can do anything if we first believe in ourselves as well. The person has to believe. That's another thing I realized. I didn't believe in myself. So because I didn't believe in myself, now I cannot trust, I'm afraid, all those little monsters and feelings, because for me, the greatest barrier that impedes us to achieve our full potential is feelings. They hold us back. But from the moment...
More than facts.
More than facts. Because from the moment we learn to overcome them, with intelligence, with faith. We learn, we start playing them, you remove them and you overcome. Because if we allow the feelings to play us around, we will feel afraid, we will run away, we will cry. Yeah. But we have to overcome, because I see that it's the greatest barrier. A student, when he's writing an exam, got so anxious that he goes blank. Why? Because the feelings are playing that student
And we
around.
often hear, but I knew the subject so well.
Exactly. But the feeling of fear is a feeling. Anxiety is a feeling. Mm-hmm. Because the person didn't know how to deal with it.
Insecurity is a feeling. Yes. Complex is a feeling. Now, it will block you. Then you're going to go blank. You don't remember anything. And you write your driver's test 3 times.
Yes.
Actually 4.
4. But I made it.
So if we would just give an advice to our friends out there. Mm-hmm. There are different reasons that may have brought you to where you are. Mm-hmm. You are stuck in life. You don't see your potential. But I think we can summarize in one point. Mm-hmm. You are convincing yourself, based on what you feel, mm-hmm. that you cannot go on. Or you've been guided by the perception and words of people who defined you in a certain way, which you are not. Out of curiosity, let us take a look in the results of our poll here.
And here are the results.
This is the reason why we have brought this program today, for you to change things around, to start a new year with plans, with goals, with that excitement. That's very common.
Yes.
But how to make sure you're going to finish this year with the goals and results you are looking for? It has to start inside. And I wanted to bring to you God's point in this. Our verse of today is in Matthew 19:26. Jesus was dealing with a situation, and he looked at it and he said to them, with men, this is impossible. That's exactly how you feel right now. You look at your situation, you look at your prospects, and you say, it's impossible. I will never get it. I will never get married. I will never get my driver's license. I will never buy a house. I will never go through varsity. The results of matric came out. I didn't make it. Now is the secret. But with God, all things are possible. So there are things that we can do on our own. There are things that we can overcome with a little knowledge, with little study, with a little physical strength, with determination. When we come to those moments that it is impossible, now is the time that we need to turn to God, we need to turn to His understanding, to His wisdom, and ask Him to shine His light upon that situation. And trust in Him to make what seems to be impossible to become possible in your life. To conclude our program of today, yes, there are many things that can hold women from a future.
Yes.
There are many barriers, but not when we commit them to God. And I know that as much as I do and you do, every time that we are still confronted by those roots or some perception that we cannot make, we are not good enough, that this is not for us. If we embark in those feelings, we are going to be restricted.
Yes.
But if we allow God to guide us, we will make it.
Exactly.
So stop limiting your potential. Barriers are everywhere. With God, they become reason for your testimony. Amanda, would you pray for them today, please?
Yes, I would. Let's pray. My Lord and my Father, in the name of Jesus, we are here to pray for all those who are watching us right now. And I know they didn't come to this program by coincidence, but because you want to help them to overcome all the barriers they may be facing. Because truth is, life is made out of challenges. And when through you we learn to see the challenges as a step ladder for growth, you help us, you guide us. And I pray right now, guide this person. Give her the strength she needs to persevere, whatever goals she may have for this year, whatever plans, may you guide, may you direct this person, and may they conquer everything they want to be with your direction. I give everyone into your hands, my Father, and I thank you for the opportunity to be here with them, because I know you will make wonders in their lives if they trust in you. In Jesus' name, Amen.
Amen. So, from today on, your impossible becomes possible. Amanda, thank you for joining us. God bless you. And until our next conversation with her, who? We shall find out.
Thank you. Till next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
first step to healing is simply reaching out. If you or someone you know needs support, email woman2woman@uckg.org.za or call 0800 330 320. Our toll-free helpline offers confidential, non-judgmental support.